Hola mis serenitas, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Chiquita Serenita, and today we're going to do a review on the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. I just got the palette, you guys, about, I want to say last week, around Wednesday or Thursday, around there. I don't know. I don't remember exactly when, but I know I got it last week, and I said I would do it this week because I've been so busy with, we're going to celebrate his mom's birthday. And I agreed to make pupusas for her. So I was like too busy trying to do all that, you know, prep the food and all that stuff. So I just didn't have no time. And today I finally said I'm going to sit down. Because I had to go do and take my DMV picture, you know, to renew my license. So I was like, you know what, if I'm going to bother doing my makeup, I might as well do the review today too. So when you take it out of that packaging, this is how the packaging comes. Just like a little, you know, carton packaging basically. And the names are in the back right here. It says mineral free, oil free, paraben free, alcohol free, not tested on animals. When you take it out of there, this is the palette. I love this packaging, honestly, on the palette. It's really cool. It looks sort of like sleek, modernized type of, and this is like plastic. It's clear. It's like a you know, light, obviously light nude, and on the bottom is more plastic. Of course, you guys know how the backs look like. They have the little holes, so you can pop out the the eyeshadow little the eyeshadows and rearrange them if you want to. When you open it up, the mirror is covered. I think she pretty much covers all hers, and these are the tones in here. Now, I was very interested in this palette when it first came out because I was like, oh my god, you know what? It looks like the Glam and the bronze palette sort of like had a baby. A very nude, cool brown type of baby. I am very impressed with some of the shimmers, not all of them. Honestly, if I'm going by what my experience was today, I feel like it's just an okay palette. It's not exactly... It's pretty. I like the look I created, but honestly, I saw a review on a YouTuber I follow on here, Tatiana. She has beautiful chocolate dark skin, and it barely showed up on her. And I'm over here thinking like, dang, if it barely works for her, then I'm probably either gonna have problems or it's probably not gonna work as good as I would want it to work. And definitely, I did use that silhouette. The silhouette I think was like the only darkest. This is the darkest shade in here, and that was about the only one that worked on her. And the other ones just like blended into her skin. I remember I'm looking at the transition shade that I used, which was this one, Vague. And Vague did show up, but kind of got lost in the background back there. The shimmers are the ones that are standing out on my face, honestly. But when it came to some of the shimmers, I put this one on down here first. I didn't even notice anything. It didn't even look like I had a shimmer on there. It was like blending into my skin tone. So I decided to go over with this one. I think it was Sheen. No, Sheen I used as my inner corner highlight. This one is the one I went over it. I have Muse right here in the middle too. So I went over it with Muse right here. And in the end, it's like, I don't know. I honestly think it's just an okay palette. Definitely, if you're darker than me, use a really white base. A really white base and use another palette with it. Because if we're basing on my opinion just right now, I feel like this is made for like maybe light, fair, to medium and light tan. If you're like my skin tone and darker, white base and another darker palette to have some deepening tones, because this just ain't it. On its own, it's not impressive. It's Natasha, okay? It is. It has good quality. I'm not complaining about that. I'm just like, the looks you can create from this are like very limited for someone of my skin tone or darker. So definitely, yeah, if you're darker than me, white base, like the lightest base you can find, and another palette. And even then, I would recommend that you skip altogether this palette, because why waste $69 on something? You could use that towards something else that will work overall for you, right? That's what I'm saying. So I'm going to start with the swatches. You guys already know how this goes. I'm going to start right here in this corner, and we're going to go clear across till we get to the end of this palette. Right before I give you guys the swatches, let me give you guys a close-up of my eye look so you guys can see it close up. And like I said, I did enjoy it. It's a very pretty palette. It's just, a whole lot of, I had to, I don't know. It just didn't show up as dark. You know, the depth right here in the corner, it wasn't as dark as I would have wanted it. I would have killed for her to maybe give up maybe one or two of these shades. I feel like stone could still work for me, that one. But maybe mesh. I don't know. Mesh and that one are not that far apart, y'all. They could have gave up mesh and then added another darker espresso brown. And it still would have been good. Because silhouette, it's not dark enough for me. It's just barely there dark. But not to the point where like, oh my God, I love this entire palette. The first one is called Stone. And it is just this taupey brown. I would totally use this as a transition shade. I think that the key thing about using this palette is that you're going to need a really white base. The darker you are, the whiter the base you're going to need. Because I just didn't see that pigmentation with other YouTubers who were darker than me. So I definitely know. I use Anastasia Beverly Hills base, and that one is pretty light. So I do see that pop of color on there. But for anyone else, I would really recommend just try to get the whitest you can get. Whisper is this champagne shimmer. Ooh, I love this one. I didn't get to use this one. This one's gorgeous. Look, it's like a taupe champagne type of color. Look at that glare. It's like metallic, huh? And then Ella, or Ella, if she wants to say Ella. This is so pretty. This is like a bronzy brown type of shimmer. Almost like a metallic shimmer. It looks like that. It has this glare to it. Look at that. I love that one. That one's super pretty. Now you're going Vague. Vague is that one that I told you guys that I used as my transition shade. It reminds me of like this reddish brown. Not completely red, of course. It just has that hint of like a mauve red brown type of thing going on. It is a matte, and I did have to apply it several times to be able to get it to pop out on my eyelid. And even then, I feel like you can no longer see it. Like it got lost in transition back there somewhere. It just doesn't look like I had put nothing on anymore. Travertine, yeah. This one, oh, I love this one too. This one reminds me of Ella, but this one actually has more of a gray, maybe like a mauve, something mauve coming in there. Because you can see the difference. When I'm looking at the one, Ella's more of a bronzy tone. This one has more of like a gray undertone brown to it. So definitely you can tell the difference between those two in person. Because when we were looking, me and my friend were looking at the palette online. And we were both saying, there's too many similarities in this color. But when you get them in person, you actually do see, yeah, there's like a slight difference, especially in the swatches. Next row, we have Delilah. Delilah's that one that I said that I try to use down here. It is like a dark, it looks like a dark glitter. Yeah, it looks like straight up just glitter, y'all. It doesn't even look like it has any shimmer formula in it. If I had to compare it to something, it reminds me of a Super Shock shadow. Because it feels very light and airy, and as you're applying it on, it feels like you're applying nothing. Like literally, you're just putting powdered glitter on top of your skin. That's what it feels like. Next we have Silhouette. Silhouette looks like a matte brown. It might be a cream to matte for all we know, because she loves her cream to mattes. But this is the darkest shade in here, y'all. Seriously. She couldn't have added anything else. Look at it. It does remind me of a cream to matte for some reason. Next you have Muse. Muse is that gorgeous tone I have in the middle of my, right here in my eyelids. Oh, God. It feels like a foil shimmer. I do have little flakes flaking off, and it does have glitter throughout. It's just this perfect golden tone shimmer. Next you have Fair, which is this peachy pink type of matte. I'm getting a little bit of fallout as I'm trying to get the swatch out of the pan. So that's it right there. Next we have Filigree. I wanted to use this one so bad. I just figured I didn't want to go full on too bronzy, because I think that's one of the biggest problems I struggled with the bronze palette that I didn't like. I didn't like her bronze palette. It just had too many darker tones in there, and I couldn't make them work for the life of me. The look I created, the two looks I created, one of them was just okay. The other one was horrible. It was horrible. I did not like that bronze palette. And even then, I think like the bronze would complement this one a little bit, especially if you're struggling for the darker tones that are clearly not in this palette. The darker tones are definitely in that bronze palette, let me tell you. Next we have Wit. And Wit is just a peachy pink type of matte. I like this one. I actually like this tone better than I like the one that I use for my transition shade, the vague one. I don't know why I like it. I like it because I think it's just a peach, a perfect like nectarine type of peachy tone. And then now we have Sheen. Sheen feels very much like that Delilah color. It just feels like you're brushing on powdered glitter. And it has this pinky tone. Even when you're doing the swatches, you don't even feel the product going on. It feels so smooth. I don't know how to describe it. It just feels so smooth. This airy type of mousse formula. And it literally feels like you're not putting anything on. You're just like going, phew. I was like, what is that? Tender is this taupe matte. It's a straight up just taupe. It's just like a gray brownish taupe. Next we have Mesh, and Mesh is just another fleshy type of matte. This looks more of like a brown nude. Light nude, of course. And then lastly we have Mia, and Mia is just this foiled shimmer. It feels like it has some type of foil in it, but at the same time it feels like those other two that I said that are like powdered glitters on there. And this one is a pink. Definitely, it's like a baby pink type of tone. And those are all the tones in this palette, y'all. Hopefully I was able to help you guys out. It is a really pretty palette. It's Natasha, right? It's good quality. We know it is. All of us who have bought it, who have tried her products, we know that it's worth the $69. But I do not recommend for if you're my skin tone or darker. Barely my skin tone, I'll give you a pass, okay? Because I'm in that in-between area where I'm not too dark, but I'm not too light, and some tones that can fit over here fit good on me, and some tones can fit over there fit on me. It's like I'm in the limbo area of the skin tones. But yeah, sometimes I find that palettes that can work for lighter skin, some tones fit on me, and other tones is just like it's not dark enough. And I need those deepening shades because I like smoked out eye looks, and I can't create that with tones that are like really super light. So some of them that are supposed to be transition shades show up really ashy, powdery almost. Some of them will completely disappear on my skin tone. I've had that happen. So it just really depends. So I'm going to say not recommend for darker skin tones or my skin tone even, unless if you insist, then please get the whitest base you can and use another one or other two palettes more to create several looks, and not just what you're limited to this. If you have the bronze palette, use the bronze palette with this one. Hell, you can even mix in the the glam palette, because it kind of reminded me of like a baby glam slash bronze. I don't know. I should have probably did comparisons to those two, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be plenty of YouTubers that do that. If I see that there's no comparisons, I don't know. I might do a separate video. It just really depends. I'm pretty sure someone already compared them. Compared all of them. So there's like really no need for you guys to hear that from me, but still. That's pretty much it. I did not make a video. I'm so sorry. I was talking to my friend this morning when I was doing my eye makeup. Like I said, I had to go take a picture for my license. So I got distracted and I couldn't record a TikTok video to like show you guys how I did my eye look. So I'm sorry. Next time with another palette or whatever, I'll try to see if I can get one done. I'm gonna let you guys go. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified each and every time I upload a new video. And until next time, stay warm, stay blessed, and stay magical. Bye, you guys.